Hey, welcome to Women's Wellness Wednesday with your host, Rec Spade. Pardon me, I was just looking at something that Spade sent me momentarily. So if my head was down, that is why. Spade is something else. She truly is. Um, Welcome, everybody. Today is Hump Day Wednesday, and it sure enough feels like it. Um, I want to, salute everybody right now prior to I don't want to ever forget that the ladies that come on and support us Spado are amazing each and every Wednesday, and I'm here
Absolutely.
for it. And I definitely want to say we see y'all, and you're here because of us, and we're here because of you. So here it is, Wednesday. Like, I don't
Time
it's
flew. Time flew.
I'm tongue tied.
Yeah. Today was a little crazy. Today was a little nuts, and our electricity went out up here.
Okay.
So when you were hitting me, like
Right.
I was trying to get myself together. It was crazy. I didn't even
Because
know
at
where I
that
was going to
time,
sit. Like where the laptop was going to sit. It was about 15 minutes ago. It was nuts.
yeah, and I'm like, all right, let me check in with Spade because backstage isn't guaranteed. Let me go ahead and press the button. Then you didn't hit me. So I said, well, wait a minute.
You know, in due time, I was coming. I
Right.
didn't want you to. I was already panicked, so I didn't want you to panic because I was panicking.
Yeah, because it doesn't take much. And we're working on that on Women's Wellness Wednesday. We want no one to panic. That was a funny, but we don't want no one to panic. So yeah, it's Wednesday. We have two special guests this evening. We have Sheena and Malik, Malika. And the
Malika.
reason why, now I grew up with this young lady, childhood friend, my supervisor, if you will, her name is Malika. So when I first met my supervisor, I constantly called her Malika because that's what I knew. So now it's just like, now I got to switch it,
Right.
but forgive me.
It's reversed.
Right. It's reversed for tonight.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, uh, it's definitely Wednesday. So we have two beautiful guests this evening, Sheena and Malika, and they will both give their account, their story, her way. Spado, we appreciate the transparency. We respect what they're about to do. We're from the same neighborhood, we're from the same hood, so this is big for everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
Everybody from around our way.
right. And to see these young ladies triumph through whatever adversity they choose to speak about here on Women's Wellness on the Big EN network. Our first guest is Malika,
Malika, man.
baby girl.
It's Malika.
Bro, I had that. My supervisor is embedded in my head. I knew it was going to happen. Lika. I'm going to just say Leak.
Okay.
Leak. Hi,
Hey,
honey. I'm trying to be professional.
hey, Leak.
So I'm
what?
like, Malika. So if
I'm
I
back
just
here
say
chewing
Leak,
you
it's
up.
cool. Right.
I'm back here chewing you up.
Yes. So welcome, Mama.
Hey, Reek. Hey,
Thank
Spade.
you.
What's
Thank you
up?
for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Take us on a journey your way, your story, your journey, your transparency. This is personal. However, it is now public because it is a choice that you're making to say healing is possible. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and we can do this. We salute you,
Absolutely.
we see you, and we celebrate you. So we ask that you take us where you want to start, and we'll follow and support as needed.
All right, sounds good. Um, so first I'll just start off by saying I'm a little hoarse. I don't have like a voice, so just bear with me. Um, when Spade invited me to come on to Women's Wellness, we had a conversation about it, like when it first started. And I even said to her, I'm like, yo, you got to touch down on addiction. Like, that's wellness for everybody, not just women. But I know you guys invite men into your podcast, which is amazing that they come on and they support. And to me, addiction goes along with like mental health and like homelessness. It's all three of them are really tied together. You know what I mean? And about 3 months ago, I started. I started my own like nonprofit called My Brother's Keeper. That is in honor of brothers that I have that are in addiction, which most people know about. And to me, it's like I got the name from my brother has My Brother's Keeper on his forearm, and that best describes me. When you're dealing with somebody that's in addiction, it's not easy. It's as hard as it is as a person that is using or the person that is dealing with mental health. So My Brother's Keeper is not just about addiction, but mental health as well. A lot of people view addicts and judge them. They don't really know the story behind it. They don't know the trauma behind every person that deals with it. If they walking down the street, they see a homeless person or an addict, they get scared or lock their doors or, things of that nature, like they're monsters. So this is me coming onto the show to just to bring awareness of what it's like to be on the other side of addiction. Because my whole life I've watched it. I mean, I probably wasn't aware of it until my adulthood, but
Okay.
growing up, we all know somebody that has passed away of addiction, or we don't know that's what it was, or we've seen people that are. And I'm not just saying just drugs, alcohol,
Yes.
to sex, anything. Addiction is addiction. Um, and a lot of people don't know how to share this side of the story, if I want to be honest. A lot of
Okay.
people are shy to admit that they have a parent, a sibling, a best friend, a spouse, a coworker that is an addict.
Right.
They need our support as much as we need theirs. So coming onto this show, I'm willing to be vulnerable. Um, you know, that's the start of it. So I'm willing for you, well, both of you ladies, to ask me questions, and I will answer in the most respectful way. I want to respect everybody's, name, character. A lot of people really know my story, but a lot of people don't. But I'm going to do my best to just respect those in my life, you know, um, that affect me. So you guys can ask away, and I'll be more than happy to answer.
Um,
So
go
go
ahead,
ahead,
Bree.
Speed. You sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so when you said adulthood, that's when you were able to look back and reflect and be like, "Oh, that was alcoholism," or "Oh, that's what that looks like, whatever
Hmm.
that was." What
Hmm.
was that age? I know, we go through milestones in life, high school, college, those years, impressionable years, people us not really being under our parents umbrella or shadow, people may introduce us. Oh, you didn't know so and so was into that, or you didn't know. So when was it for you that you realized, oh, that's what that is, or that's why they behave that way?
I mean, to be honest, in high school, like everybody was lit. Like in school, everybody in high school, everybody's like study hall. People
Right.
dipping out, like to do their own little thing. So that's when it's really like you're really kind of exposed to it. Is in
Exposed.
school. Um, some people are exposed to it at home, but they just don't realize that's what it
What it
is.
is.
Um, so when I'm coming up, I would say high school was really when I'm just like, yeah, this is a problem. But then I went to Bloomsburg. When you go to Bloomsburg, like you said, Reek, ain't no parents. We got, ain't nobody watching us. We can do
Right.
whatever. I mean, the frat parties or anything. And I seen one of my friends got something slipped in their, in their drink.
Hmm.
And like from that moment on, he was like, it wasn't even alcohol anymore. It was just like pills. You know what I mean? And it was his mental was just like off. And then he started hanging around the wrong people. And um he actually passed away like a few years ago,
Mm.
um due to the mental illness. um but high school and college is really when I started being like, oh, this is
Putting
a
two and two
problem.
together. Right.
Yeah, but I also seen it on the home front. I'm not gonna lie, people I grew up with, um but it's just like it's not my business. You know what
Right.
I mean? And growing up, I've seen family members as well. And it's just like I think in high school was when I really was like, brought to the attention of it, but I can say probably maybe like 8 years ago was when I was like, nah, I want to do something about, like, I want to try to be a part of it. You know what I mean? To try to make the change.
To help.
Yeah.
Right.
Leak, we had a conversation. We talked about we had a couple of conversations. And I know you said that your brothers are going through what they're going through. What is that for you to see firsthand? Of your brothers going through that. What for you? What for you? Do you think that you are able to help? And where you think that you have to draw the line? For someone else to kind of take charge of to get them the help?
I mean, like, honestly, like in the beginning, you don't know what to do. You know what I mean? In the beginning, it's just like everybody has a choice to do whatever they want to do, and they're going to do it regardless of how you feel, or you know what I mean? But when you see someone like that close dealing with anything like mental health or addiction, for us, it's automatically like, oh, you can stop, you can quit. You don't, you just doing it just to, for whatever, or we're so quick to just be like, you can. But in all reality, like, I've worked in a rehab. So not even just watching like my brothers, but I've watched strangers. I've come in every day to work and see people detoxing. I mean, like, they can't live without their drug of choice. You know, the shaking, the vomiting, you know, the diarrhea, the anger, they can't eat. You know, I've seen all of that firsthand. Um, it's definitely difficult when it's someone firsthand, but in the beginning it was kind of just like, you can do it, it's a mind thing, you know what I mean? Just like, come stay with me for a few days, shake it off, you know
Right.
what I mean? But in all reality, when you start to really be around it, you have to have, let me just say this, you have to have the passion or the mindset for it.
Mhm.
It's not easy to just be so locked into someone that's an addict and be so like, not yeah, supportive of them,
Right.
and to
Right.
help them and to be there for them. You have to be in the right mindset. You have to want to actually help them and understand their mind frame, not yours. You got to take a step back and be like, I got to respect this person in front of me, and what they're
Mhm.
telling me I have to listen to.
Right.
Because if you can't do that, you got to keep your mouth shut and just don't even, just leave the person be. Like, you know what I mean? Because
Right.
you're really not helping with the, you can
This
do it.
situation.
It's a, you know, it's a choice.
Mhm.
You know, I've battled with that in the last 3 years, understanding that for some, it's not a choice,
Right.
you know?
It's an addiction, and that is exactly what an addiction is. Something that controls you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People say it's not me, it's my addiction.
Right.
And those are two different people.
Mm-hmm.
You remember your brothers in a jovial state. You remember them in a healthy manner. So
Mm-hmm.
you know the difference between what addiction looks like and what my brother looks like.
Right.
And with that patience, with that love, with that desire to want to help, it's not going to change overnight. You know what I mean? And there are many baby steps that need to be taken, and a lot of patience on your part with this new business venture, with helping people who struggle with addiction.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a process. I've been in the mental health, behavioral health field for over 25 years. So
Mm-hmm.
I can resonate and piggyback off of everything you just said.
Yeah.
It's not about what we want for them. They want it too, in a sense, but it's just
It's harder.
yeah, and it's down deep, that is in a suppressed place, that
Mm-hmm.
they need to lift it up and bring it out. Resilience.
Yeah. See, a lot of people don't understand that part. A lot of people think, a lot of people don't understand that it's deeper than the drug of choice or the alcohol. It's way deeper than that. People are fighting demons.
Right.
And not to say, there's a lot of us that, you know, people get up and roll up every day.
Mhm.
That's an
Or
addiction.
take a shot or
Or
whatever.
take a shot as soon as
Yeah,
they wake up,
whatever
or
it
they
is.
can't go through the work day or the work week without that, whatever. I
Right.
mean, a cup of coffee, if you want to be honest. Like, you know what I mean? It could be
That's a
anything.
thing. Addicted to
It's a thing.
caffeine. Yeah.
But people don't understand. It's just, it's the mindset of different people. Not everybody are the same. Not everyone deal with situations the same exact way. You know? I can lose everything today and be prayerful and pray and stay in the shelter and be grateful that I'm still living and I can still breathe, and someone else is gonna fold and be like, I give up. I lost
Right.
everything. That's it. I'm gonna go to the bottle. I'm gonna go to the pill. I'm gonna go to the, to the
Right.
liquid, whatever they choose to go to.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not an easy thing. It's very hard. I'm actually like, I'm trying to put together like a book. So like I told you guys, I worked at a rehab. So it'll be called 28 Days on the Other Side of Addiction.
Okay.
So it's going to be my story
Congratulations.
of how I've seen different people, and I'm still close to a good six of them. I talk to them like almost every day.
That's
They call
awesome.
me like, I got a job. I'm 79 days clean. I mean, because they see how much I cared about them.
Right.
It was never about the money. It was never about nothing else, but that I might not be able to save, my brothers or, my friends or those have already lost to addiction or those who are still suffering, but there's somebody's life that I can touch, and that's good enough for me.
And that's
And I think that you have to, eventually you have to want, to get the help. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I asked you the one time, I said, can't you just, put somebody in rehab if they need help? Like, and you said, no, they have to want to go. They have to, admit themselves. You can't just, put them in there.
Hmm.
And although, everybody might know somebody that they just want to throw their ass right in there and be like, you know what, this is, where you're going. You're not able to do that.
Yeah, a lot of people are even like court ordered. Like if they're doing like if they get locked up, they'll just be like, instead of sending you to jail, we're going to send you to rehab because you need help. You know what I mean? A lot of people like to take that route out. A lot of people that are in rehabs, really, they're not ready and they don't want to be there. I'm gonna do this so my PO can stay off me. I'm gonna do this so I don't got to go to jail. I'm gonna do this so my mom can let me continue to live with her. You know what I mean? I've heard all the different stories. People are not ready. I mean,
Right.
people come for the 5-day detox. People will come in and just be like, I'm coming for the detox and I'm back out KNA. Like with nothing. They'll tell you. I worked with the men. I got a soft spot for the men. I just feel like they're not heard enough. There's not enough, you know, I worked with young adults. So it was like 18 to like my brother's age, both of them. 18 to like the oldest was like maybe like 32, 34.
okay.
Um so yeah.
So when you say they come in for the detox and then they go right back out, what was the point, or what would they be coming for? Like why come in for the detox and then go right back out? Was that the mentality when they came? Like what are they getting during the detox that they essentially need, but still have the mindset to go back out?
So like if someone overdoses,
Okay.
um and like they go to a hospital, or a lot of times people won't, I guess there's like a feeling that they have, right? So when you're detoxing, they give you like comfort meds. That's what they're called. They're called comfort meds. So what they do is like it doesn't take away your urge to get high, because it's kind
Suppresses
of
it.
giving
Yeah.
you that, suppressing it, right?
Mhm.
So it's kind of like they're off the streets for a couple days. They're getting their wounds taken care of. They're getting
Understood.
a
So it's the
meal.
care. Right.
It's the care. It's it's that
Got
it's
it.
that actual care, because a lot of them are living in the streets.
Right.
So it's that special care that they're receiving, and then they're like, but I'm back out there because I need it.
Right.
A lot of people want to go home. They say they want to see their kids. A lot of them haven't spoken to their kids or their parents. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? But when you sit down and like go to these group meetings and you listen to like their stories and why they even started drugs like in the first place, a lot of it's pain meds from a sports injury.
Right.
That's the most common. A lot of them is alcohol, and then I was with my homie and he was on. I asked for and then or
It was
the
over.
person that you love, you with somebody that's got into it, and you thought you never would, and all right, maybe this one time I'm gonna do it with you, because
And that's
someone you
all it
love,
takes.
someone you're with all the time, and then they
And
start
I
to go.
think a lot of times, when people are doing whatever addiction that they have, it is to cover up pain.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody doesn't want to feel, that pain that they may, be sitting with. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, so if you don't have to, some people are strong enough to deal with pain. some people aren't, and some people rather numb it up, or instead of going through it. It's just easier,
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of times too, besides the things that you said, I think that that's a big part of it, is that just numbing up some kind of pain that they don't want to face, and it's easier to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that goes with mental health, like you said. A lot of it, is with mental health, and um, they don't, people that have mental health issues, again, some people don't want to get the help for that either, so they go to whatever,
The bad
drinking.
combo between mental health
Yeah.
and addiction and
Mm-hmm.
behavioral health, they
Mm-hmm.
all coincide.
Mm-hmm.
That's a dangerous situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're exactly right, Spade.
And I
Yeah.
think that a lot of times is that your first step, what they always say is, you got to admit that you got
Admit
a
it.
problem.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing, that you say that a lot of people are very in denial.
That's what I'm saying. You got to admit that. So if
They
you
don't
don't
even
want to
think
admit
they
it,
have the problem. They don't even, like, especially with mental health. If you're like,
yeah,
you need to go, you need to go get like checked. Like, you're telling me you seeing things and you hearing things and all that, and it's just like a lot of people, they don't want to be labeled.
right.
People don't want to be, I'm not an addict, and people don't want to be, I'm not bipolar, I'm not schizophrenic, I'm not crazy. You know what I mean? People don't want that label on them, so they try to avoid it.
Listen, me firsthand is that I've never thought that I would suffer from panic attacks so bad that it got to the point, like, I can't even at this point right now, is that, like, I can't even go away, with my kids right now, like, on a getaway without somebody else being there, because my panic attacks get so bad sometimes that, I don't want to be alone, with my kids at that time, when I'm going through them, because I'm frozen. There's nothing I can do, when I'm going. But it took a while to finally say, okay, there's an issue here. You know what I mean? I'm tired of thinking I'm having heart attacks every time I turn around. There is actually something, wrong. So, you have to want to get, whatever help, to see a doctor, to see a psychologist, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? You have to want to get the help. That's
And
the first step.
Go ahead, Reek.
no, so no, go ahead, Lee, you got it.
No, because I was gonna say, like, that's like me, Spade. Like, I have real bad anxiety. Like, my
Yeah.
anxiety is real bad, and a lot of people don't know, because, like, I mean, like, it's in my head, and it's like when I'm driving, and it'll be different things. Like, my chest starts to hurt. Like, the middle of my chest. I get in the middle of the night a lot of times. I got to go to the bathroom, turn on the shower water. I think that got a lot to do with my dad passing away. When my dad passed away, it was like in the middle of the night, and ever since then, and like, he tried to put me on like sleeping pills, and I refused because I didn't want to get like addicted to it. And
Right.
then, like, my doctor was just like, wanted to put me on like Xanax. I'm like, no, because I don't want to get addicted to it. I know I need the help, so I did therapy. So I just started talking to somebody, and I felt like therapy was like, it was kind of working on certain issues, because I was able to let stuff out to like a stranger, you know. But you got to do whatever works for you. You have to try to do something to eliminate whatever it is that you're trying to avoid. Like, I'm trying to avoid addiction. I've seen it too close to home. You know what I mean? And I really feel like I'm the strong person right now, that I got to support a lot of friends and family and be there for them. And I don't want that downfall. I don't want to get caught up.
And you have people around you that can assist with that, because your cup needs to be filled up too.
Yep.
So feel free to tap in. I'm big on resilience. Uh, so I'd love to, assist with, whatever you have going on in your group sessions, or do some keynote speaking for your patients, or for your clients.
Yeah.
Just to remind them that they too can start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Spade touched on two important things. She said that, yes, it's a quick fix. It numbs the pain. She also said you have to be the first to say, wait, this is a problem. And when you can do those two things, or when you can do that one thing, you can then start. The race has started. But
Mm-hmm.
what Leek is saying is, again, addiction, you can ignite it and you can activate it, but that don't mean it's going to be like that tomorrow.
Right.
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 But the professionals, and the ones like Leek, the ones like Spade, the ones like myself, can come back and still pour into that person. All right, Bob, we at it again today.
Right.
Yeah.
What are we going to do today? So
Right.
it's daily. So thank you both for that.
Yeah.
Sharon, and the transparency. Sheena is
Oh,
here. Thank
Sheen's
you so
here.
much. Yes, she is here. Sheena's going to join us. Spade, do you want to get into Go Grab Lunch now and then get with Sheena,
Yeah,
or?
let's do go grab lunch first.
Okay, so Go Grab Lunch, for those who don't know, is an act of kindness that we do here on the Big Exclusive Network, on behalf of the Women's Wellness Wednesday podcast that Spade and I host. Go Grab Lunch is an act of kindness that we reward, aka give, one of our viewers. So at this time, we'll have our special guest pick someone from our comments, a comment that resonates with you, a comment or a person, a name that you've seen often. It's your choice. And Lee, pick somebody. Big E, can we have some of the comments posted? Hey, Star.
I already got my mind made up.
Lee,
They didn't even roll yet.
I've just
come
seen the
on, man.
comment.
You didn't even roll. Can we roll them?
All right. Go ahead. All right.
I'm happy too.
Spade, I'm happy
What's up,
too.
Nay? What's up, Momo? What's up, Cece?
Hi, thank y'all for pulling
Hey,
up.
Nye. Thank you for pulling up, y'all. Niche.
Hey,
Got
Niche.
some big support in here.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
loving it.
Shout out to the women.
Y'all really showed
they
up.
they
I
they
appreciate
pulled
it.
up for you.
Yeah, they
Yep.
really did. Dang, only one
That's
grab
what it's
lunch.
about.
Woo.
All right, you already had them, so like, don't
Hey,
front. Just
T.
pick them. You already had them already picked. Like, go ahead.
Hey, Tony.
No, I really want to. I've really
Nat,
been watching this. I've really been watching this person,
you
like,
know,
even
Queen.
outside of here, and for him to even show up to the and support us tonight on the wellness. I want to give it to Juan. I want
Hey,
to take Juan to lunch,
Okay.
because I've been
shout
really
out to
watching you.
Juan.
Juan, you deserve that. I've been watching you, bro.
Yes.
You're really doing your thing, and I'm proud of you. And you was my neighbor. Like, we started from the mud,
So I
bro.
got
Like,
something for that. Lee, I got something for that. Wow. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's
Yeah.
up, y'all? How y'all doing out there?
okay.
So Juan want to go grab lunch. Juan, you know the drill. Go ahead and cash app Spade on. She'll take care of you. Thank you so much, Leek. We're going to pop Sheena on. We would
All
like
right.
you to stay backstage and support us as well. Feel free to
Absolutely.
comment. At this time, we're going to bring Sheena on.
Hey,
Hey,
ladies.
Shane.
Ladies. Sorry
Hey,
for
Shane.
being late.
Hey,
Fashionably late.
that's all right. You're here though.
Hey, Tiff. So, ladies, to catch everyone up, ladies and gentlemen, we are here on the Women's Wellness Wednesday podcast with Rec Spade, talking about addiction. We are here with Sheena, who will take us through her story, her way. We also want to thank Sheena, and I also want to highlight something that Spade did. Spade hit me up yesterday and said, "Yeah, Rick, we're gonna do something a little different tomorrow." I said, "Well, what's going on? What do you mean? What you got in mind?" She said, "Well, I like to give Sheena her flowers." I'm like, "Yes, babe, we give all our guests our flowers." She was like, "No, literally give her flowers." So I said, "Okay." So she made it happen. Spade went and made sure they were delivered, ordered, and presented to Sheena today. So Sheena, Women's Wellness Wednesday from Rec Spade. We love you. We see you. We salute you.
Absolutely.
Thank
Hope
you,
you like the
ladies.
flowers.
Don't make me. I cried when I went to the store.
It kind of made me cry Rick saying it, but you know what, Shane, you deserve it. You know, and I want to make sure that you got your flowers, and a lot of people, the journey that you're on, it's a beautiful thing to see, to watch. You know what I'm saying? And I think that you are doing an amazing job. And you're brave. And I just thought that for you, instead of me just saying, giving you the flowers, you actually needed them. And, we made sure that they got to you, that they were delivered to you. And, we see you, and, we do appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's huge.
Well, I love you guys, and I was super nervous because I don't like talking, but I was sitting there and I was like, I gotta go on here. Like,
I'm like, Shane, please.
I gotta go on.
So Sheena, again, we want you to share what you're most comfortable with sharing. Again, this is your journey. Can't nobody share it but you. So it's your floor.
Um, it's okay. I'm comfortable with sharing all of it. Honestly, it's what it is. Um, I'm always honest. So I guess I can start a little bit. Like I'll start how my addiction started. Um,
Okay.
my addiction didn't start until later in life. Never used drugs as a teenager, nothing, because I was around a lot as a kid. Um, I have a lot of family members that were addicts. Just like Malika said, like I always thought like I was that bigger person needed to like do anything and everything. Like I knew that was a part of my. So I did that for a very long time. Um, but as a kid, I had a lot of things that I never dealt with that I didn't know. Um, certain situations in my life happened, and I didn't know they bothered me until later in life.
Okay.
So my last daughter, she's 11. I had her. I almost passed away.
Appreciate.
I developed a between my right artery and my brain.
Jesus.
They put me on Percocet for it, and I took them normally, like as needed at the time. And I was around other people that were already on them. Um, I don't want to put anybody out there, but I was involved in a situation where somebody was already on them, so um, it fastly progressed. Um, at that time, also my partner had went away. I had three little kids back to back. They were like 1, 2, and 3. Not even 1, 2, and 3. My partner had went to jail. I was left home alone, and my problem really spiraled at that time.
Okay.
Um, it really went. It went on for years and years and years, and I never thought like that. At first, I didn't think I was, but um, but a lot of people around me kind of like condoned it because I could still go to work. I could still hold my household down. I did this, that, and third, but it was a serious problem. Um, so even when my partner got out of jail, he was even a little shocked, like, damn, like, what happened? Like, this is crazy. Like, when I left, you weren't this bad. Like, how did it get to this point? So that actually went on for years and years and years. And it just progressed and progressed and progressed. Um, and there was times where, like, I knew I had a problem and I tried to get off them, but, like, with addiction, like, when you, like, with opiates, you get withdrawal. So at that point, like even though I wanted to get off them, my body was physically addicted to them. So I wake up in the morning and I literally couldn't get out of bed or do anything for my kids unless I took these pills. Now I'm in a situation like I'm really in a situation.
Yeah.
Um, trying to think. Give me a second.
Take your time.
Hmm. So anyway, yeah. So like I said, that went on for years and years, and it ended up affecting all my relationships. The relationship I was in, relationship
Yeah.
with my family. You know what I mean? Like it just, and I could see myself becoming a whole different person. Like, and on the inside, I was like dying inside because it was like, damn, how did I get here? I never thought that I would be this person, like
For
ever.
me.
For
Hmm.
me, you're right. I never seen it coming. Like it literally was like you hear people like most people that are addicts like start using drugs as kids and teens, and like I never even smoked marijuana. Like I never smoked weed, nothing. Like I didn't like drugs at all. So to see
Right.
myself like really addicted to these strong drugs, like it was really mentally crazy for me.
Okay.
So and like when I say it went on for a lot of years and just got worse and worse and worse, um that's what happened. I started hanging around different people that were doing things that I was doing. um I used to take them by mouth. I got introduced. I had a friend who one day was like, um, "Why do you take them that way? Start snorting them. They work better." So, of course, me already being the addict I started doing that, which I never snorted anything in life, but I tried it, and that was even better. The high was instant. Um, so then my situation really progressed.
Okay.
Um, but at this point, my kids are getting older. They're realizing things aren't right. Like something's wrong. You know what I mean? Like every dollar I used to have, like I don't know how. Honestly, I don't know how for all them years, like I maintained to take care of my kids and still like hold the household down because literally I would take every dollar I had and I'm not ashamed to say this today. Like, if it was something we needed at home or my pills, I needed those pills, or else I was going to be sick and couldn't do what was needed at home.
Right.
So, I'm probably missing a lot of parts, but
It's
No,
it's
tell
your
it the way
story,
you
your
see
way.
it.
yeah.
Yep.
So, like, I'm gonna tell you how I really got into. So basically, my pill problem became a dope problem.
Okay.
And I'll tell you how that started happening. So a couple years ago, like, oh no, okay. So my pills were prescribed. I used to get 120 30s every month from my doctor. And my doctor was like a little bit crooked. So at one point they got busted, and I got kicked off my pills. At this point, I'm like, I had a crazy habit. I started buying them on the street. It was a lot of money. Um, and then a few years ago, they started selling fake pills. When the pills started becoming $60 a day, I couldn't afford that. My habit was already, I needed 10 and 20 pills a day just to function. I couldn't pay $60 a piece for them. No
Right.
way.
Yeah.
So a few years ago, they started making fentanyl like pills, like, and they looked just like Percocets, but they had fentanyl in them. And the person I used to get them from was $10. I'm like, all right, bet, like, cool, not realizing what it was going to lead to. Um, so I started doing that, and that literally lasted for like a little while until one day I literally was only like on them for like a few weeks, and one day the person, I guess because they were like man-made, the person ran out of them and couldn't get them anymore. And somebody came to me, like, and I was really sick. I tried to go buy a real Percocet, did nothing to me at all, like nothing. I was literally like physically sick, couldn't move, throwing up, do anything to me. Um, and some, like, when we don't have those fake pills, is what we do. Um, they get me and somebody else, and like, be careful, you dope, split it, and that's what we did. And from there, it was like a night, like the first night, sleeping, like I think on the street or stuff like that. Sleep. They're taking pictures of me. Uh, my two oldest kids, they don't feel me anymore. My other kids went to go live with my mom. But in the meantime, sorry, back a little bit. Before all that, because of the problem, it's something I caught a case. Well,
Hold on, Shane. You're losing service a little bit.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear you now.
Okay. So I'm
There you
going
go.
back up a little bit. Before all that, in the meantime, when I was on those petty pills, I did something for somebody, and I caught a case. Um, and it was like a big case. So like, I lost my housing, I lost everything, and I had to live with my mom. Me and my kids for like a few years. Um, and that time, my mom seen my problem getting really bad. She wasn't agreeing with that at all. Um, I had so, my mom put me out. Uh, my mom had put me out at the time. She told me I had to leave, but my kids could stay. Um, but I didn't, like, at that time. Like, I was fighting my addiction, but I wasn't trying to leave my kids, even though I knew that was best for them. Like, still, like, how you gonna leave your
Your
kids?
mother. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, my kid's father went home. One of his aunts, his mom, they let us stay there for a while. We were moving, we went all around my kids. You know what I mean? Finally, my mom let me back for like a little while. My mom let me back home. And my problem just got worse and worse. It ruined my, like, me and my kid's father's relationship because of the drugs. When the drugs got involved, our relationship just went downhill from there. It just got worse and worse and worse. And we tried to hold on, but in the end, like, we were just friends, just get high partners, for real, for real. Like, that's all we were, for real, for real. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, we were holding on for our kids and whatever, but really that was just my friend. Somebody I did things. Um, so I went back home to my mom's, and my problem just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I was like So my mom wouldn't like give me. I would used to lie and make up things to get a ride to the train. I started going to Kensington alone to get the dope. Um, and I used to make up lies in the beginning to get rides to the train and stuff like that. And my mom and them were like, "If you want to keep doing this, like we're not going to enable you in any way." So they stopped taking me to trains and everything. So I started like walking the trains and everything. I was falling asleep like in the middle of the road. Like I would literally wake up hours later. Don't know how long I've been there. I would think it would be hours later, but really I don't know how long I've been there. Don't know how I was still alive, not getting hit by cars or great. I would wake up with my things gone. Um, it was really really bad, like really crazy. And my time in, like I would go to Kensington every day. Like when I first started going to Kensington, I would look around like I'm better than these people. Even though I'm down here buying dope, like I got money in my pocket, but I can go home at night. I'm better than these people. And slowly that became like I would go there every day because I fit in with these people now. Like those are my people. Like now I'm no better than these people because I can go home at night. I'm doing the same exact thing these people are doing. And I used to go there every day and stand there, literally stand in Kensington and get high every single day with these people because that was normal. I didn't know how to live normal life anymore. Like I didn't know how to go to family functions anymore. Uh, I literally like didn't want to be around my own family. Even when I would go home at night, like I would hide in the bathroom all night, or I would hide places like so nobody could see me, so my kids couldn't see me, but they would find me anyway. Um, One night I woke up to my whole family in the bathroom, like trying to save my life. I guess I had like basically dead on the toilet, and they woke me up, like throwing water at me. My kids were, my mom, everybody was there crying. Like, and you get to a point where like that didn't even it mattered, but it didn't matter. Like that's where dope takes you. Like it mattered, but I was so far in at that point, like I couldn't get myself. I didn't know how I was ever going to get myself out of this. Like, and the Percocet withdrawal is like crazy, but the dope withdrawal is like it's something I can't imagine. Like I can't explain it. Like and that's the part that kept me going so long because I was afraid to go through the withdrawal. Which that is the case for a lot of people. I know we spoke earlier. Um, I don't know. I'm sure, so I don't say too much, but like I've had conversations with people, and I know like that's a lot of people the withdrawal, and a lot of the reasons they won't get help, and then like mentally really take you somewhere else. Like I would pray at night, like that I just didn't wake up anymore because I was at a point where I didn't want to do it anymore, but I didn't know how to stop doing it. I literally would pray to God and please don't wake me up. Um, but God, but,
Yes, he did. Spade.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that her phone might have lost service.
Yeah.
I I I kind of just need a minute.
Okay.
You know, that
Me
was a
too.
lot. That was a lot. That was a lot to take in.
Mhm.
And that's her story, you know, and Sheena is doing wonderful, you know, to this day. You know, but it's been a long road for her, you know, and that's why I wanted to make sure that she personally got, you know, flowers from us. That's why I wanted to make sure that she knew, you know, this was a safe place for her to come talk and for her to, you know, be vulnerable enough to talk to us and, you know, let everybody and educate
sorry, I
everyone
got kicked out,
on, you
guys.
know,
I'm
these
back.
type of things. You
I'm
back?
sorry, I got
All
kicked out.
right.
Yeah,
It's
I hit
okay.
the button and I got kicked out.
It's all right.
All right, so I know I'm all over the place. I'm nervous. So
No,
y'all,
you're
when I'm
No,
fine.
done,
you're
y'all can ask
good.
questions
You're
and I'm
good.
still y'all.
No, you're good. Just
You're
keep
good.
going. Yeah.
Anyway, this whole time I'm still living at my mom's though, like going back and forth to Kensington every day. She's like taking care of my kids. Like I said, they were like they all had videos of me or whatever. And finally my mom got to the point where like you got to go again. Like you really got to get out. Like I'm not letting these kids go through this no more. Like you really got to go. Like you're not taking these kids. They're staying here, and you got to go. Like you're my daughter. I love you, but you got if this is the life you're choosing, I gotta
You
give you
gotta
tough
go.
love. You gotta go. You know what
Tough
I mean?
Yeah.
love.
And at that point, I was so far in my addiction and so messed up to my kids didn't matter at that point. It was like, cool, I gotta go. I'm leaving because now this is a way for me to get higher and I don't gotta worry about nobody. Like that's where I was at with it. Like in the end, it was really bad.
Mhm.
Um, so I left. I did leave. I left my kids with my mom. Um, I stayed house to house for like 2 weeks. One of my aunts let me in, stayed house to house for like 2 weeks. Sometimes I didn't stay anywhere. I just stay up all night. I stay in Kensington and just stay awake. Or I come back to my aunt's or whatever I had to do. And then I don't know what. I know. So one of my cousins let me in one night, and this night my brother happened to come find me. My older brother John happened to come find me, and when he found me, he was like crying really hard, and he had this crazy talk with me. He said things to me that like my mom, so many people had tried to talk to me, but like the things my brother came and said to me that night got to me. He was like, I don't care how you feel about mom in the past, if like any resentment you have towards mom and dad, like I don't care what, like this is me and you. Like you raised me for real when we went through our shit. Like I need you back. Like I need you to get your shit together and get back. He said, I will do whatever I gotta do and take care of your kids. Just go get help. And that night, I don't know what it was, but he got through to me. The next morning I went to rehab. And I stayed there for 30 days. I got out. I went to meetings. Like it worked. Like I laid in, but the withdrawal was crazy. And like the fentanyl that they have in Kensington now, like a lot of the rehabs don't even know what to do for you. So like I literally laid in rehab for like 2 weeks, like dying, like literally like dying. I don't even know how I made it through. I tried to leave a couple times, but they like stopped me, and I ended up staying. But when I say like I laid in there like shitting, pissing, I'm not ashamed, like throwing up, vile, like literally laying there like dying. They couldn't give me anything. Suboxone makes it worse. They did give me that, and it made it even worse. It set me in the
Asked about Suboxone.
yeah, it made it even worse. So I did tough it out, and I got through it. I stayed there. I got out. I went to meetings. I stayed clean for 8 months. When I came home, I stayed away from like all the people that I used to deal with. I even had to stay away from part of my story. Like I don't want to put anybody out there.
Right.
There's a huge part of my story that I can't talk about, and it has a lot. Like, but I don't do that.
We get it.
I'm not. You know what I mean?
We know what you're talking about.
Yes, you guys know what I'm talking.
Yeah.
So I stayed clean for a while, but when I got out of rehab the first time, I was 8 months clean. About 6 months in, I had gotten a phone call that I needed to help somebody that needed help, or somebody needed help. Well, so at first I ignored that phone call because I needed to worry about myself more.
Yep.
I reached out to people and I was like, listen, I got this call. Somebody needs to do something. Nobody wanted to do anything. So I'm like, I battled myself back and forth about doing something. And I left it alone. A few weeks later, I got the same phone call again. Like, no, for real, somebody has to do something. So at this point, I'm thinking, all right, I have like 8 months clean. I'll be all right. I can do something. And at the same time, at the end of the day, I'm going to have to explain this to nobody else. So I went and found this person. And when I say the phone call that I got, they weren't playing. Basically, like they weren't kidding. Like it was even beyond my, like I couldn't believe it. So I helped this person, and that's part of, and I'm only telling this part, like I said, I don't want to put anybody out there, but this is part of how, so I've been to rehab twice. That time I relapsed. I was clean for 8 months, but helping somebody else, thinking I could help somebody else, and loving somebody else more than I love myself, putting somebody else first, I relapsed. And I did that because this person needed drugs, and they weren't in the condition to go get them. But I knew how it felt to go through that withdrawal, and I didn't want to see anybody go through it. So I thought I was strong enough to go get the drugs and not touch them. Wrong move. But so that's how I ended up relapsing. One day I was on the train by myself, and with the drugs, I did it for months, actually staying clean, not touching it, really going to get them, not touching it. And this one day, I guess I had a bad day, and I was on my way back, and I was like, oh, I can just do a bag. I won't do any tomorrow. Well, I was wrong. I did that bag, and that bag, in 2 months, that one bag, I couldn't stop, obviously. And in 2 months, my problem was worse than the first time. like way worse. And it was crazy. Like, and then I was like in a real bad depression because after I helped this person, I relapsed. The second I did that, this person totally shitting on me and literally didn't give a shit about me. Like, it was like, fuck you. You helped me, fuck you. Like,
Mhm.
really like that. And like, I was like, at this point, my family was like, fuck you again because you chose to do that.
Right.
Um, so at this point, I didn't have, like, I had, when I got clean, I had like 2 jobs. I was doing good. I had money and stuff. I lost all that all over again, real quick, 2 months.
Mhm.
Lost everything. So I was still in to get my drugs. I would see this person. They had got better, and I had seen this person with like I was seeing this person uh, with hundreds of dollars, and they wouldn't help me. They let me be sick after I
Right.
basically saved their
After you
life.
did,
You know
right.
what I mean? So all this was mentally in my head. Like, Sheen, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Reality check for
Right.
you. Yeah.
Reality check. Like, Sheen, what are you doing?
Right.
So I was standing in the middle of Kensington, and I was like, you know what? I like literally like stopped in my footsteps and like started praying, like, somehow get me out of this. Like, get me out of this. I got on the train. I got to 69th Street. And I don't know how many times I had rode the train back and forth, but when I got to 69th Street, finally, when I woke up, there was EMTs and ambulance in my face. And they were like, you've been here for a very long time. We couldn't wake you up. I don't know how long I've been there. Like, I just knew. They were like, you've been riding the train back and forth. We tried to wake you up, and we had a very hard time waking you up. Do you want help? I refused to go to the hospital. I went home, and um, I asked my family, like, get me help again. I went back to rehab. Uh, I knew I had to do something. I knew, like, because, like I said, my problem in 2 months had gotten, like, way worse than it was the first time. Like, it really
Right.
was. And that's when my 2 oldest kids wrote me the letters stating that, like, they were done. Like, they really didn't want anything to do with me unless I got help. Like, literally never don't talk to them. They were embarrassed. Like, my kids' friends were saying things, like, people were saying to sleep all over. Like, they were just embarrassed. Now my kids are 11, 12, 14, 18, and 22. Like, they're very aware of what's going on. Um, so I got my mom to drop me. Yeah, I got my mom to drop me off at Bryn Mawr Hospital. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, I still had a whole bundle of dope. I knew I
Mm.
needed to get clean, but I still had my bundle of dope when I got to the hospital. And I sat outside the hospital and I did all that dope. And I went back. I sat out front and I finished it, and I went back in,
Mhm.
and that's the second time. And they took me to rehab. And this is how this time I stayed again for 30 days, and I am still clean today. That was almost a
Hey.
year ago. Um,
Say
again,
that
How
then.
long? And how long has it been? How long you been clean?
10 months.
Hey,
Yeah. Um,
I'm telling you, cause that is major.
Huge.
10 months. And within
You
those 10 months, I've literally, like, this time is different. Like, the first time I got clean, like, I wanted to get clean, but I ain't gonna lie, there was still something in the back of my head that was like, you'll probably get high again. Um, this time, I literally don't think about it. I don't take Suboxone. I don't take
look at
anything.
God.
I literally just
Yep.
clean. I don't need nothing to help me. And I don't think about getting high every day. Um, I actually am trying to, that's why I did this today. I'm trying to get in the group so I can give back because they tell us to keep it. We have to give it away. So I'm trying to, like,
Yes.
go places and speak. And I have a cousin that's
Absolutely.
living in Kensington, like, basically dying, and I've been trying to go down there and, like, make sure he's okay. I went there the other day and I seen several people that I know, and I just, try to talk to them. I gave them money. Not that it's okay, but, like, when you're in that situation, like, it is what
Yeah.
it is. Sometimes people
Yeah.
don't have support and have the, like, thank God, like, my mom and them, like, they drive me crazy sometimes, but my mom,
She
listen,
never
that's
gave
my
up
dog.
on you.
Yes,
Loves
that's my
you.
dog. Yes, she always had my back, like, for real. Uh,
Mhm.
Today, my kids talk to me. We have a great relationship. In those 10 months, I just got a house. I have a
Hey,
car.
Congratulations.
Um,
Congratulations.
yes,
my son just graduated high school. He's on his way to college, and
Congratulations.
I was there to be able to be a part of that. They didn't want me there before, or I wasn't even awake enough to even go there or even care. My other
Beautiful.
son graduated middle school today. My daughter's going to
Congratulations.
yeah, and my other
Yes.
daughter graduates middle school tomorrow. I mean elementary school tomorrow. Um, and I'm
That's
able to be
awesome.
there for all that.
Yep.
I
Have,
mean, just look how everything has turned around for you. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
I mean, just by you not giving up, even though you went through, the hardest times of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like you never gave up, even though you may have thought at some point, but God had another plan for you. You know what I'm saying? You've been through a lot and God has never given up on you. You are here to tell your story. There's some people that never got to tell their story.
right,
That's here to tell the story. You know what I'm saying? And that was part of your story, but this is, your better half of your story. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And
right.
you
Yeah.
deserve everything great that, that you are receiving. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
I'm proud of
Yeah.
you, cuz
Thank
I
you so
am.
much. Yeah, and like it's, like it's crazy. Like a lot of my family, like I mean, I forgive them, but I don't like. It's crazy when you go through things like that. Like you really learn who's there for you and who isn't. Like
Mhm.
because a lot of my family gave up on me. Like they didn't give a shit. They gave up on me. But one thing I can say, like I said, my mom and my stepdad are fucking amazing, and my brother are amazing. Like they really held my kids down, took care of them as I would,
Mhm.
and continue to have my back. Like so, and they do till this day. Um, I have a new boyfriend. He's amazing. He met me like literally when I was messed up. I wasn't looking for anybody. Like I was in a bad place, and I was just like gave up on myself. I didn't care anymore. I was going to fix myself and work on me, but like it was like he was God sent. Like he came to me, and he didn't even try to come at me first. Like he was literally, genuinely like being a friend, being there. He's wonderful to my kids. I never had anything like this. Sometimes I don't even know how to handle it. I'm still learning and growing, but God is good.
God is
Yeah.
amazing. Sheena, I want to thank you for sharing your story. I want to thank you for your transparency. I want to thank you for being brave. You know, I'm not sure where I'm gonna scratch that. I know exactly where you got your resilience. I know exactly where you got your inner drive. I know exactly where you got your future focus. And I know exactly where you got your flexible thinking. I just said 5 tools of resilience. All of those things were inside of you, embedded inside of you. And it took your mom, it took your brother to say, hey, you matter. And when that happens, that gives you the fuel to do exactly what you're doing. We
Absolutely.
see you, we salute you, we support you. Okay. This safe place, this safe space was created for exactly what you just did.
Thank you,
And I
guys.
thank you.
Like I said, I know I'm all over the place, and there's a lot of my
You're
stories
not.
for certain reasons, but it is what it is. All I can say is like I got to a low place, and I really did love somebody else that strong and love that I didn't care
Yes.
about myself anymore. Like it literally got to that point, and then the drugs just overpowered all of that and made it even worse. So like to come out of that, I like I said, I wake up every day and thank God because I didn't think I was gonna come out of that situation. I really
Well,
did. I
you
thought it was
did.
over. I thought it was over. Like
Well, you did, and you are, and you'll continue to. Continue to have that strength, continue to lean on your strong relationships, and continue to lean on your inner drive. You have it. And what you did was you tapped into it. And for the last 10 months, it's been the baseline. It's been what you have gone to.
yeah,
Thank you, Sheena.
And and you're, and the people that, are going to continue to be there for you, you know what I'm saying? Like lean on them. You know what I'm saying? And we're here. You know what I mean? If you ever, need anything, even to talk, we're
Yep.
here. You know what I'm
We're
saying?
around.
And you have shown, to me, the biggest of um bravery and courage. You know what I'm saying? Not only for what you've been through, but to actually come share it with us.
Yes,
And come, and you may be saving a life right now. You know what
yeah.
I'm
for
saying?
sure.
And I want you to, leave us out with something that you want to tell the world that, may that you think that you want the world to know. Whatever it is.
Um, I gotta think about that real quick. But real quick, also let me give Malika. Is she still on here?
She's
Who,
out.
Malika?
She should be
Is
backstage.
Malika still on there? You want her to come on there? You want her to come on?
I think if she's
No,
backstage.
I just
Oh.
give Malika her
Okay.
flowers. Malika and I talk a lot, and I know she sees it from, the family side of things. And I just want to like give her flowers too, because a lot of people wouldn't. A lot of people give up, and a lot of people don't understand. Like in the midst of our addiction, we don't realize what we do to our families. We really don't. Like it's yes, it's a selfish and centered drug, and we don't really realize. And Malika never gives up. Like she really, we have plenty and plenty of conversations, and you're amazing for that. And
Shout outs to
continue to do
Malika.
that
Yes,
because
thank you for that.
yeah, just continue
Thank
to
you
do
for
that.
that. Thank you for that. She's here.
Oh, I see you. Um, and yeah, everybody else like, um, no matter what you're going through, no matter like don't give up. Don't give up. Like this is the one of the hardest. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to go through in my life, and every day I work on it every day. This isn't like, oh, I'm cured. No, I don't, and I don't ever think I'm better, and I don't ever forget where I was 10 months ago. Seriously, because when you're an addict or anything, mental health, whatever, like you have it's something you have to constantly continue to work on every day, and I had to learn that. Like, and I do that every day. I do things, I fit things in my life every day today to make sure that I stay clean, because my kids and myself do mean that much to me, and it's way more worth way more than that. um so don't give up on yourself. Just, I don't care what you're going through, just there's always a brighter side.
Thank you for that, Sheena.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that. Spadel, did you have anything?
I mean, I just, more than anything, I just want everybody to know is that even though, like Sheen said, things that you may go through, reach out to the people, reach out to people that, are in your corner. Reach out to, if you feel like you have a problem, you got to admit that you have the problem first, and then try to get the help that you need. Sheena is living proof that it doesn't have to end the way that she started. She's here to tell her story. She's living a great life. She's in her kids' life. They're happy to have her there. She's living a great life. She's able to buy a house, and so good things can happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't give up just because you doubt yourself, and you don't think that you deserve to be here. You deserve to be here. You do matter. And there are people that care about you.
Definitely.
Thank you. Leek, did you want to leave the folks with something, please?
Can't hear you.
Oh, so I was just saying, thank you for joining us. I wanted you to leave the viewers with something that you want them to know. And again, we thank you.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. Oh, she can't hear us.
You're on mute. Are you on mute?
Are you on mute?
All right, close this out.
Close this out. Close this out.
Thank
you. Thank you for joining us here on Women's Wellness Wednesday, here on the Big Exclusive Network. Tonight was special. It was special on many levels for many reasons. Sheena, Lee, we thank you. We thank you both. I can't thank you enough. And we'll see you all next week. Spade, I'll see you backstage.
All right.
Thank you.
Love you, ladies.
Love you.
You too, Sheen.